Don't touch that dial. Coming up next is Brawln News number 115, and we're going to talk about, pharmacological problems run rampant all over the place in wrestling and MMA.
At least
spirits. We're going to talk about Scott Hall and the problems he had with his girlfriend, and we're also going to talk about, this is recent problems, not old stuff, recent stuff. Also, we're going to talk about Buff Bagwell and the problems he had by flipping his car 8 times and winding up with plates in his head.
He had something else.
And then we're going to talk about Sabu and why he didn't show up at the Philadelphia Extreme Reunion show because he was found doing something else. And then we're going to talk about Alistair Overeem and why he likes testosterone so much. All that and more coming right up.
Who doesn't like testosterone?
I love it.
Honestly, who bruises in a bubble bath? It's time for Brawln News, a comic book man and Bo.
Sometimes ideas just come to me. Then again. Brawln News, episode 115, Truce of Noodle Soup.
Fight, 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 fight! Hey, folks!
Well, in this case, it's more
I want to
drinking.
hit him too. Looks like fun.
Comic book man here. Welcome once again to my video house. Bo!
Yes.
Is it time for any news?
It's time for Brawling News.
Brawlin' News!
Number 115.
Brawlin' News 115,
Nice.
which is coming to you from this place. Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. This is going to be an all wrestling plus a little bit of MMA news at the very end.
And most of it involves
Just
drugs of
about
some
that-
way,
about
shape, or
that much.
form.
Schnickel.
This is going to be an all, for the most part, wrestling update. And our first story up
It's a pharmacological episode.
is going to involve the king of alcoholic beverages.
Last Call Hall.
Last Call Hall. And once again, he has run afoul of the law.
Scott Hall was recently arrested in Florida for...
Does he have his own cell yet?
He might as well. He's arrested for domestic battery
Hall
charges
suite.
after he attacked his girlfriend Lisa Howell. She showed up at the house. She said he'd been drinking for a couple of days. Howell. He'd been drinking for a couple of days.
Only a couple of days?
You know, and she wanted to leave, and then he grabbed her and choked her. And then he said,
I love you!
he says,
It's your fault.
I didn't choke her. And the cops get, one of those red marks around her neck. And so...
Tried to hang herself.
She choked herself.
And so the cops double handcuffed him. They took him to a local hospital because he was apparently too drunk to stand up. And then they took him to jail. Now, but she's refusing to press charges. So Scott is
it's
back
a
at
happy
home,
ending.
drinking happily in the back of his
Honey, if you love him, if you really love him, if you really do care about
him
him,
in the nuts.
put his ass away because he can't drink in the slam.
For a very,
Okay.
very,
You can drink
very
Pruno.
long time. Yeah, all you can do
Pruno!
Probably, yeah. He can mix it up in a toilet.
Legal alcohol.
Mix it up in a toilet.
Good
yeah.
toilet liquor.
He can stew in his cell and just get madder.
Toilet booze. Nothing better than it.
My favorite.
Anyway, moving on. Former WCW WWE star Buff the Stuff Bagwell. My God, he's still alive.
He's still alive. Barely. He's still alive.
What happened to him? He was he had some problems recently.
He was driving home one day. He called his wife. He said, I think I'm having a seizure. And he actually had an accident. He flipped his Jeep about 8 or 9 times and ended up with a broken neck and a broken jaw.
Look, he's still alive.
And
Maybe
yes,
an ambulance would have been better to call than his
Well,
wife.
it would have made sense.
Is he still the stuff?
He is. Well, he's the stuff at home. He's laying at home. He's got like about 6 plates in his face.
Oh.
And he's able to drink solid food. And
He's able to drink solid
I mean,
food.
he's able to drink and he's able to have some solid food. I'm sorry.
Hey, you better stop and explain that.
He's able to drink solid food.
He's able to basically.
I want a t-shirt, man.
He's able to gum his solid food. Put it that way. And the doctor said, the main reason he's had is Buff's always had a bunch of physical problems, and he's taking a lot of pain pills. And he was trying to cut down on his pain pills and to get his medication changed. And unfortunately, while he was driving, one of the after effects of the medication was him going,
Shouldn't have been driving. There's probably a thing on the bottle that says don't drive or operate heavy machinery. When you take this, read the bottle. That's why they put it on there.
You're assuming Buff can read.
Nobody takes the bus.
In Florida?
No, I've been in Florida, and I don't think anybody takes the... Well, no, I take that back. I've been in Orlando, and yes, they have buses. They actually, to digress, the buses in Orlando are truly a sight to behold. Think of a CTA bus rimmed with neon going all the way around the top of it, and the neon changes colors while it's going down the road.
That sounds cool.
That's perfect for the bus.
That sounds... especially
And that's
if you're
just the beginning of it. The
He
buses
doesn't
in
have
Orlando.
nowhere to go. He just rides the bus.
I just rides the bus and he takes shrooms.
I remember sitting in a Denny's, getting something to eat, looking at the bus and watching the colors change and the light show. And you know what? It was just a bus. It was like a CTA bus here. It was just a bus. There was nothing special about it. It was just mass transit.
It was the magic bus.
Anyway, I digress. At the Extreme Reunion show in Philadelphia, Sabu didn't appear because why?
He was passed out in his hotel room.
Well, that's a good reason not to show.
He says that he said he had a bad reaction.
Where's Sabu? He's face down in the toilet.
Is this whole federation fueled by alcohol?
Well, these are all ECW guys. Justin Incredible was in the back. He was in backstage. He was supposed to appear at the show. He was passed out, and so they told him to get the hell out.
You go home.
He walked outside. Then he went, I'm fine. He went, we're not letting you work. So he walked inside so people could see him. And then to add insult to injury, Axel Rotten, after the show, he was driving back from Philadelphia to Baltimore. He fell asleep, broke his sternum, and 8 ribs.
It seems to be a common problem among wrestlers over the last couple of months.
It seems to be a common problem with ECW wrestlers.
Falling asleep behind the wheel. But did he flip his car 8 times?
No, he didn't flip his car. He just ran into a pole.
Pussy.
And after, since he's home,
be like Buff, flip it 8 times.
He's recuperating right now. Axel Rotten this week also announced his retirement, which is fine because people went, you were still wrestling?
Well, now that nobody cares about me anymore, I'm officially announcing my retirement.
You're still working?
It's usually a good sign you need to announce your retirement.
I forgot.
You know, the good time to announce your retirement is where you're near the top, not when you're at the bottom, because when you're down there, nobody cares anyway. Anyway, our last story up, that's done with the wrestling news. We got the one fight story that I promised you at the beginning. Alistair Overeem has been denied what?
Alistair was suspended for having a massive testosterone level in his system. He would have been suspended in the state of Nevada, except for one little small detail. He didn't have a license in Nevada.
There you go. You can't suspend a man who has no license.
So he went in front of, and he wanted to fight at the UFC show, which is at the end of this month. And so he went before the Nevada State Athletic Commission to apply for a license, and they said,
"You don't have one."
He wanted a license so he could fight.
Oh, you want one? Oh, you want to get one? You want to get one?
And they talked to him, and he said, this is what happened. I took this thing as a painkiller for my ribs, and there was testosterone in it, and that's why I failed the test. Mm-hmm. And the Nevada Athletic Commission said, that's really nice, but why don't you come back December 27th, and we'll consider your case back then. So get the hell out of here.
So he gets the cool heels till December.
Well, he gets the cool till December. Here's the problem.
Yes.
He's under UFC contract. Do you really think Dana White's going to pay a guy to sit on his ass?
Well, can Dana White grease the wheels any with Nevada?
Dana White's...
or how badly would he want to in the first place?
Dana White...
Would he want to? Does he care enough?
Dana White is not happy with Overeem because he said...
Well, there you go. Ask the answer.
Because he said, when you filled out your application, to fight, you should have put that you'd gotten some kind of injection for your ribs, and you didn't, which means you're an idiot. And so you lied to me in front of my face with your manager, and so I'm not even going to talk about you anymore. People ask me about you, I'm just going to go, who? Who? I mean, some guys get a second chance, and I saw Overeem. I'm looking at Overeem. He doesn't look like a testosterone case either. He doesn't look like a steroid case. Yeah. But it's a situation of a guy going to a doctor, getting something in his system, and not realizing what it was when he got it. Yeah. And so now he's sitting on his ass for 9 months, and he's not getting paid. So he's unemployed.
Paid. When you're independently wealthy, you don't need to get paid.
Well, he's not. That's the other problem. He's not rich.
That's a problem.
So I'm assuming, casino host greeter, maybe.
Casino host greeter, there you go. Or convention greeter.
Convention greeter. I mean, the
testosterone.
The Fertitta brothers do own station casinos in Vegas. You could always stand there and welcome people to the casino.
Thank you very much for coming to.
Let me put you in the arm.
Thank you for coming. Can I hit you?
Thank you for coming. Well, step right this way. We'll shoot you at your table.
A picture of me knocking you out.
And that's it. We're done. We're finished right here. We got no more wrestling news. BRAWLN news.
BRAWLN.
You can go to the store's website. Check out all the BRAWLN news. This man sends me that I post up there. Boom.
Yes.
Tell him.
Scott, stop drinking.
www.myalternatereality.com. It's like a loofah for your brain.
Go to the store's website. Check out all his news. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Bo.
Saying.
Sabu, stop taking steroids.
Never.
I'm going to go lay face down in the toilet right now. Bye!
Alternate Reality now opens at 10:30 instead of 11 on Sundays. There's like half an hour sleep over this, and so you guys better show up.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.